ladies.
Hi, As. So Laura, cohort 3, yes, alumni, and Tracy, cohort 1. Yeah. So thank you for making time for this little chat. Now, this morning I was at a Standard Chartered event and I was just saying how much I admire the bravery of especially women who decide, they have an idea and they follow through. I mean, I've tried so many times and I've just decided that it's not for the faint-hearted. So what I wanted to find out, Tracy, tell me, like, what sparked the idea for your business? What made you just say, I'm going to do this?
So for me, it stemmed from frustration. I realized that we had small scale businesses, medium scale businesses, and they were struggling to scale digitally online. So with building of their websites, things of that sort, they were struggling. So I was frustrated and I wanted to find a way to help them. So I decided to start my Simply Expand business in order to do that. So that's what stemmed.
So it's from a gap you identified.
Yes.
Okay. Well, maybe that's my challenge because I'm always looking at what am I good at or how can I make money? So maybe that's the wrong thing. But Laura, your background is not from teaching. I mean, well, your degree or your qualifications are not from teaching, right?
Exactly.
But you have an online tutor service.
Mm-hmm.
So how did you get into that?
So my online tutoring platform was born out of passion. Because when I was 16 years old, I really enjoyed helping my peers in the sciences, explaining to them difficult concepts in the topics that they were struggling with. So from a very young age, I sort of adopted those skills when it came to teaching and explaining these concepts to friends of mine. And then when I went to university, I started working for other tutoring companies as a way of supporting myself through my undergraduate and my master's degree. And then we had COVID come along. So then I did some research on online tutoring platforms in Ghana. And I noticed that there was a bridge that I wanted to, so a gap in the market here that I could fill. So yes, I decided to start a tutor online and create this extra source of income for the tutors. Because another key issue was the low salaries that teachers are currently receiving at schools.
Okay.
So I wanted to give them this opportunity to get an extra source of income.
Okay, so your business is already running, and then you apply to the Standard Chartered Women in SIC. What do you think it added to your business? So if you could start an entry.
Sure. So I think the program really refined my vision for Virtue to Online because I had the idea, I'd started the company and so on, but then I realized that I didn't have the business skills that I needed in order to take my business to the next level. Because as you mentioned, my background is in pharmacology, so the sciences. So I didn't really have those skills that a lot of business owners need in order to make their business successful. So I really feel like the program refined the skills that I needed in order to take the business to the next level.
I mean, some people even leave incubators and actually change the whole direction of there have been businesses that have just gone into something totally different because they've realized that actually this is not what I really want to do. And then how about you? What's that additional thing? Because you already had a thriving business. So what did it add to you?
Yeah, so just like Laura said, the refinement bit of it is what I found to be very helpful. Because for mine, I had started the business, I was running it, but then I realized that I didn't have proper structures. When I started the incubator, I was like, wow, there are so many things I could do to improve my business. There are so many things I could do to scale it up. And it really helped me see where I was lacking in terms of the structures, operation-wise, legally, some things I had not set in place. Because when you're building projects for someone, there are so many things like copyrights, privacy policies, all those things, and taught me was very, very helpful.
Okay, I was going to ask you like which specific area, but you've mentioned so many, so I'm going to move away from there. And then let's talk about systemic barriers, whether it's funding, cultural, network. What are some of the barriers that have really slowed you down in running a business?
So I would say with having an online tutoring platform, the biggest barrier would be the cultural expectations. Because I'm sure you know here in Ghana, we're more traditional in the sense that we like the tutor to come to the house, do the lessons in person, and we feel like it's more effective when we have the teacher sitting there with our child and so on. So it was quite difficult shifting the mindsets of the parents to show them that online tutoring is just as and can be more effective than the in-person tutoring. So that's what we've been trying to do, convince the parents and show them that there's so many different teaching techniques that we can employ online that you can't do in person. And we can accommodate for all the different learning styles and hopefully find one that suits their child in particular. Yeah.
Maybe I should have a word with you because I have a daughter who learns differently.
Okay.
And
Absolutely.
I'm struggling.
Oh, no problem. We have you covered.
And how about you? What was that one big challenge? And it might be a challenge that still exists today.
Yeah,
What is that thing that you're constantly grappling with?
So for me, it's more of funding. So you'd find that in most businesses, especially women-owned businesses, we have about more than 50% MSMEs being women-owned businesses in Ghana, but we are not getting access to funding. One problem is buyers, but another big problem is access to these spaces to get funding. So for me, it's the funding because of the kind of business that I run. We need to have proper infrastructures, proper systems to scale, and it needs funding backed to be able to go. So for me, I would say funding.
But would you say that women are pitching for funding effectively? I think I just had a conversation here. Was it with you? No, the lady who did your makeup.
Okay.
Where I said to her, ask for what you want, because she needed something. I said, why don't you ask? Do you find that women are not asking? And sometimes we don't know how to ask. A man will walk into a pitch and say, okay, I need 10 million. A woman will be like, oh, what if you give me 50,000? If you know. So do you think that's a problem as well? Because I have some statistics here. It says that women founders received just 7% of venture funding versus men. So maybe are we asking right? Is it that they don't want to give us the money?
I also feel like it's in our nature because we are a bit more empathetic. So when you're asking for money, you think to yourself, oh, maybe he can't afford to give me this $10 million I'm asking for. Let me just calculate just the right amount that I need to get the funding. I need just maybe 1.2. Let me just reduce it to 1 million. And that's what we are doing. But you have a man come and say, I need $100 million. Take it or leave it. And they'll get it because they are pushing. Yeah. So I think we also have to change our mindsets in terms of getting things. We should be go-getters. You shouldn't put yourself in that small space because you think you don't deserve it or something.
But do you think the Women in Tech program that you were part of, do you think the pitching preparation gave you some tools and do you intend to use it?
Yes, absolutely. I pitched about twice for mine. It's really helped me. Did lots of research. I myself am an introvert, so it helped me, overcome that kind of introversion when it comes to speaking in public. So it's been very helpful, extremely helpful.
Yeah. And you talked about cultural barriers. So what have you done to change that perception? I don't know whether it's marketing or I really don't know, but what have you been able to do to, slowly try and change that perception?
So we found that when we offered clients sort of a free or a trial lesson just to get them to experience the platform and then see the benefits of the platform, it's helped quite a bit. Because I think people like trying things before they actually pay for something to see whether it's worth it and see whether it will actually benefit them. So we book free consultations for the students with the tutor so that we can really tailor the sessions to the students' needs.
Yeah.
And then we offer them the free session. And then once they have that class, then they realize that this is something that could really benefit them.
Yeah. Okay, so that's a great marketing strategy. And I think your grant was used for some marketing activities, right?
Yes.
So could you tell us a little bit about what you used your grant for and how that has helped, or
Sure.
not, if it hasn't?
Yeah. So we use most of the money, or some of it for marketing, some of it for improving the technology on the platform. Because I'm sure you know tech is very expensive, especially when you want a really good product. So we used it to improve some of the features on the platform to make it more convenient for the customers. Because that's one of the things we're really trying to focus on at Virtuta Online. So
Yeah.
making sure it's a smooth process for the customer. And then the marketing, it really helped us because billboard ads and so on were very expensive. So the grant helped us get our names out there. So what happened was when we did a lot of the billboard ads, a few newspaper ads and radio ones, and then run ads online, we asked the customers, oh, how did you hear about us?
Yes.
And then they said, oh, I saw your billboard and then it popped up on my phone. And so I don't know how technology does that, but yeah, so that really helped us in terms of the raising awareness because we're a new platform. We need people to know about us. So the grant really, really helped us in that aspect. Yeah.
Okay, that's good to know. So let me just wrap up. Futuremakers Women in Tech, which is the cohort 5, has launched. I think we launched it last Friday. We're getting people sending in applications. But what is the one thing you wish you had known before you applied that you can tell them? I mean, to put together a better application, or what can you say to encourage people to apply?
I would say be confident. A lot of us, we're going up against so many other people. There's no way I'm going to get it. But if you don't put in your application, there's 100% chance you're not going to get it, right?
Yeah.
And so I would say just apply. A lot of us wait to be ready for something, but I think being ready is like a moving target. Like you're never actually going to be ready. So just have your confidence there and ready, perfect your pitch. I always say repetition is the motherhood of learning. So make sure you practice it over and over, and that will dramatically increase your chances of being selected for the program.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Tracy, how about you?
Yeah, that's very true. And I would also say you have to believe in yourself because you might have so many doubts, or like Laura said, I don't want to apply because I feel I'm not good enough. Who says you're not good enough? So you have to apply. You are good enough, so you should apply. And your business idea is worth knowing, so everyone should know what you are trying to do. So just put that in mind. Apply, forget about it, and you would be very, very happy to find that you would be part of the incubator, and then your business is really going to go beyond what you even think it can do.
Well, thank you very much for taking time.
Thank you so much.